Hello, I'm Matthew Smith from the Computational Ecology and Environmental Sciences group, and in our demonstration we're going to show how we're addressing one of the most important scientific challenges facing humanity, and that is understanding and coming up with better predictive models of how the Earth's biosphere is going to interact with and respond to climate change. And to do that, we're trying to come up with better predictive models of the greatest source of uncertainty in Earth system models. That is how the biosphere, the living systems of the Earth, interact with and respond to climate change. That's believed to be the greatest source of uncertainty. And to do that, we're coming up with better predictive models, better quantification of the uncertainty in those predictions, but also coming up with tools to help enable scientists and the scientific community to put together better predictive models of multi-component systems, of terrestrial vegetation, of all sorts of systems that make up the Earth's life support systems. So here, for example, is a rather technical tool in which it makes it much more easy, much more natural for scientists to combine models and data and estimate uncertainty in the parameters in those models and understand the implications of that uncertainty for our system model predictions. Something that's becoming more routine in putting together multi-component models of living systems, but it's still very technically demanding. Secondly, we've got a tool here which makes it much more easy for scientists to just have at their fingertips and obtain in a much more standard, easy to access way through the internet in this case, data on climate information. So through this web tool they can query the database and get data on all sorts of different environmental variables in all different sorts of ways, climate data from the past, in the present, and even predictions of the future. And then we'll show and we'll talk about how we've brought together all these different tools to come up with a state-of-the-art, much improved predictive model of the carbon-climate feedback, how much carbon is sucked up and is emitted by the living systems of the Earth, which influences climate change. So here, for example, are our predictions of the distribution of terrestrial carbon at the present day. But because we've done so by incorporating all these different sources of uncertainty, we can then run these predictions forward, and that's what we show in this screen here, to really come up with very robust predictions of how the terrestrial carbon sink, carbon source, how the terrestrial environment is going to interact with and respond to climate change and report that uncertainty.